Hello, hello. It has gotten a little bit chilly in Atlanta today for some reason. I don't really like that. It's like 60 degrees outside. But I'm starting this reading vlog a little bit late. Hopefully, this microphone doesn't die. But I'm starting this a little bit late because I got notified on Libby that a couple of the books I had on hold are available. So I did already start and almost finish one of them. I will be finishing it today. So I started The Cheat Sheet by Sarah Adams, which she's also the author of what is it, When in Rome? Or I think that's what it's called. Beg, Borrow, and Steal is like her Beg, Borrow, and you know, I'm not very good at remembering book names now that I think about it. I can like picture it in my head, but for some reason when I need to think of it, the title like goes out the door. Like it's gone. I don't know where it goes, what happens to it, but you probably know what I'm talking about. Also, the rule book. I know that one for a fact because it is the second book to the cheat sheet. And I did read that one first before I read this one. And I wish I had read the cheat sheet first because I think I actually I enjoy it a lot more than I enjoyed the rule book. The rule book was really cute if you want just that sappy, cheesy romance, which I had a blast reading it, but I like the cheat sheet way better because your main character, your female main character, I should say, she's a ballerina, or not a ballerina. She wanted to be a ballerina, got in a car accident. So that threw things off track. She was very talented, but it also kind of put her in a recheck of like, hey, the path I was going down was not necessarily healthy in the sense of I had no life and did nothing. I didn't enjoy what I did anymore and I lost all passion for it, but I still like want to dance. And so she kind of had to reevaluate how she was going to dance and what she was going to do. And so she owns a ballet studio for people that can't necessarily afford it in LA. And so it is tuition based, but it's tuition based on your income. So those families who don't make as much can still get a quality dance education for their kids, which I love that concept. I thought it was so cute. So I really loved her for that. And then your male main character, Nathan, I am a big fan of. He is the quarterback for the LA Sharks, the NFL team or whatever it is, obviously made up in this one, but he's the quarterback and he actually suffers from anxiety, which you kind of like discover within the books, which is not a spoiler because it says it in the beginning. It does give a trigger warning of panic attacks and things like that. So that's where it comes into play. But they are best friends back in high school, and now it is many, many years later, and you kind of have a little bit of a fake dating trope that comes in. And I just really enjoyed it. I think I really related to the main female main character a lot, which I appreciated. And then I just loved the male main character. It was super cheesy, I won't lie. There were a couple of things just like in the pacing of the book where I was like, this probably could have happened and developed a little bit sooner. Maybe could have been a little bit more of a conflict somewhere later down the line that there wasn't really, but I'm also not mad about that. But it's by no means like a literary masterpiece or anything like that. So I think I'm going to settle on like 3.5 stars for it. I'll probably on my Goodreads round up to 4 because I did eat up every second of it. I read it and basically I could have read it in an entire day, except I did not have time last night to read it all. But I'm about to finish it today. I have like one chapter left, and I don't think that one chapter is going to change my rating. So I'm going to settle on 3.5 stars for it and go ahead and say it now. The second book that is available that I got on my Kindle is Nora Goes Off Script, which I am so excited for. That is Annabelle Monahan's, or one of Annabelle Monahan's books. And I have read a couple of hers now, and I'm obsessed with her writing. She has quickly become one of my new favorite authors this year. So I'm super excited to read that because I know she has a new book coming out. I don't know if it's soon. I want to say it's more in the summertime. So we're going to read that. And then I would love to read Fearless. And I know we're doing romance and we're kind of on a romance roll, but didn't realize Fearless came out this soon. I thought it was later in the month. So I kind of want to read that and see how that whole trilogy wraps up. But that could change. Not really sure. Again, we're mood reading because this month we just want to get back in the groove of things and we don't want to fall flat like we did last month in the month of March. April is our redemption month. We need to catch up. We need to get on it. There are too many new releases. We have Abby Jimenez's new release that I still haven't read. There's too many things going on in this month. So we've got to get on it and we've got to get reading. That's all I'll say. So I'm going to go finish the cheat sheet, finish my last like 5 pages of it. And then I will probably start reading Nora Goes Off Script and I will check back with you a little bit later. So I'll see you then. It's the next day, and I've done a terrible job at recording because I was so engrossed in my book of Nora Goes Off Script. But I stayed up until 11 o'clock just to finish it last night. And if you know me, you know that's very late for me. I was eating up every single second of it. And for a while, I was like, oh, I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to love it as much, just depending on what the turning point is going to be, because there was so much going on. And I was like, what happened? Like, why? Where'd you disappear to? Why'd you disappear to? What is the cause? And I could not for the life of me figure it out. And I love that. I love that I couldn't figure it out because it made me keep on reading, keep on reading, keep on reading. And I finally got to the end and I was like, huh? But also you can't even be mad at it because like fair, kiddo, fair. Try not to give any spoilers or anything. So yeah, 5 stars to that one. I'm having a great reading month, first of all. Last month's reading month, I didn't read a lot in general, and I had some really crappy reads. I had a DNF too, which is very rare for me. DNF, like two-star reads. So this month is looking up. I loved it. I am loving Annabelle Monaghan. I'm so excited for her new release that comes out, I think in May. I looked it up. I think it's called It's Not a Love Story, I'm pretty sure is what it's called. And I also love all the covers for her books. So I'm so excited. I said it in my last video, I think, when I read Same Time Next Summer, I think is the one I read in the last video. But she is just the queen of having gorgeous writing, but having it be so condensed. I fly through her books and I love that. I love a good bingeable romance that's not corny. It has like its little cheesy moments that you love for, but they're not too cheesy and they're very deep. She has some great one-liners, some great quotes in them. So I'm very happy with that read. I ate it up and stayed up a little too late for my liking last night, but it was worth it. And then I started this morning, First Time Caller, pulled this off of my shelf, so I'm excited to read it. What I've gathered, I'm like 25 pages in, 30 pages in. What I've gathered so far is you have Aiden, who is a talk show host on the radio, and their ratings are very down. He's supposed to be giving love advice, and he's not very good at his job at the moment. And they need to get their ratings up. Well, our main female character, Lucy, her daughter, calls in and she catches her on the phone and demands to know who it is. And Lucy is talking to Aiden, the talk show host, and trying to get advice for her mom, who is single, Lucy. So that happens. They have a conversation. And then I think, I haven't gotten to this part quite yet, but she basically goes viral from that conversation that she has in the next few pages, based on what it says. So now her life has kind of been turned upside down. I'm thinking we find out her love story and maybe their love story throughout the thing. So I am now going to go on a walk, try and eat up the last few rays of sunshine, and then sit outside for a little bit after I get all my steps in and read a little bit more of it, see how much we can get done. I do have some hours on Spotify, so I might listen to the audiobook while I walk around too before I sit down and read. So let's get reading. It's not too weird because I'm trying to move it around to where it's not backlit. But I am back from my walk. I'm showered. I ate some dinner, and we are now on page 109 of First Time Caller. I'm curious to see how this works out with her like joining in on this, and like, is it going to be more of like a bachelor/dating radio show? Like, I'm just curious to see how it unfolds. I do like the idea of this book. I think I'm already not loving it. Unfortunately, I'm not going to DNF it. I'm just not obsessed with it. Like, I'm kind of having to be like, okay, let's sit down and read. But I like the concept of it. I think Lucy is really funny. I think she's quirky. And I think it's Aiden. Like, I just don't love Aiden for some reason. I don't know what it is. Maybe that'll unfold more and I'll grow to love him. We'll see. I'm not obsessed with him. I think that's what's getting me right now. I think Lucy is super cute and super funny, though. So she's kind of carrying the show, literally, if you know what I mean. But I'm going to hang out and read a little bit for the night. And then the ice cream shop finally reopened downstairs that I love. They have the best dairy-free ice cream. Well, they really only have like 2 options, but they have a dark chocolate to die for. The best dairy-free ice cream I have ever had, and that's not dramatic. And they have been under construction for 5 ever, and I haven't been able to get it. And they just reopened, and I haven't seen it yet, but my husband has, and he said we can go tonight. So I'm waiting for him to finish one of his meetings. I'm going to sit and read for a little bit, and then we're going to go get some ice cream. So I'll see you later. And if I remember, I'll come on and show you the ice cream too, because it's chef's kiss. Bye. Hello. It is the next day. We listened to the audiobook some, we have read some, we walked on the treadmill, read on the treadmill. So we did lots of fun stuff. I think I am right at about halfway, maybe not quite. I'm on page 200 exactly, I think. Let me check. Yeah, page 200. So we're doing pretty good in the book. I still kind of have the same feeling. Like I just feel like Aiden's character isn't built up very much for some reason. I don't know. He's just kind of like, I don't know, mopey. I don't know what the best way to describe it is. I think Lucy is so cute, and then I think some glimpses that we get of Aiden are really cute, but it's really not like a romance factor, which I love a good slow burn. I never complain about a slow burn, but it's just, I don't know. I don't know what to describe it as. It's kind of funky. Also, don't mind the hair. It's humid here, and I did not fix it because of that, because it'll just frizz right back up anyway. But yeah, I have mixed feelings on it right now. I love the female main character, still kind of iffy on the male main character. I'm hoping it changes as we go throughout it. We are halfway through. I don't dislike it or anything like that. He's just not my favorite. I'm not obsessed with it. Obsessed with the cover, just not necessarily him at the moment. I think because Destiny Sidwell and Sarah Crowley, for their bookmark podcast, they like pick a book a month now. That's like a new thing they're doing in 2025. And I think they picked this one for February. I don't know if it was February or if it was March, but I'm curious to see what they said. I never watched it. And I kind of haven't been listening to a ton of stuff on social media about it, just because I like going into books blind. That's our thing for this year. If you didn't see it before, we go into books blind because we like them better. But I'm curious. I think after I finish it, I might watch it and kind of compare my thoughts, maybe come on here and see if they thought the same or if anyone thought the same, because I kind of feel crazy right now with some of the stuff that I've seen online about it. I feel like I've only seen people rave about it, nobody really indifferent or not like it or anything like that. So that'll be interesting, but I'm not going to do that until I finish the book. For sure. We'll listen to the podcast and do all that fun stuff after. And then I'm hoping to squeeze another book into this video, but we'll see. Maybe I'll take it into the weekend and what I read for the weekend. I'm not really sure because we did start this one kind of late. It's been a really chaotic week. But we are driving back home to see my in-laws and go to a bridal shower this weekend. So we have a pretty long car ride ahead of us. I'm hoping, fingers crossed, if the traffic's not too bad, I'll be able to read it in the car, assuming it's not crazy and I get car sick. But as long as there's not a ton of traffic, I usually am fine to read in the car. So hopefully we'll be able to get some reading in there, finish the book today/tomorrow morning, and start a new book. I would love to do a Barnes trip because I know there's a Barnes & Noble there too. So we'll see. Maybe I'll get a new read. If not, I think my next read is, let me go gander over here to my, gander was an interesting word choice there, in my bookshelf. We got this. We live above a local bookstore. Terrible for my wallet. But I found this one sitting out. It's called You Between the Lines by Katie Naiman. I think this is a debut novel, but it was really, don't judge a book by its cover, but we know we all do. It was really eye-catching to me. I love the color of it. I love the cover, and I had never seen or heard of it before, which I love. I love to be the first person on something. So my husband bought it for me. He was like, oh, do you want it? I was like, no, don't spend the money on it. And then I turned around and he had bought it for me. So sweet of him. So I'm thinking this might be our next read if we don't go on a Barnes trip. Maybe even if we do go on a Barnes trip, I don't know. It'll kind of be whatever my mood is, depending on how the end of this book goes and how it's rating. I feel like Am I still going to be in the romance mood? Am I going to want to switch it up, or just kind of what the vibes are? But it seems really cute. I don't really know a ton about what it's about. I know female main character, male main character has to do with writing and poetry, and I think they meet through writing in some way, shape, or form, something like that. So I'm pretty excited to read this at some point and hopefully be one of the first readers for that one. See what everybody says on Goodreads, because I didn't even look it up on there. So we're really going into that one blind. That'll be fun. But let's get to packing, and then let's get on the road and let's get to reading. It's been a couple of days. We went out of town for the weekend, got back. It's now Monday night. This vlog has gone a lot longer than I anticipated, but like I said, work is picking up a lot at the moment. So I'm really trying to balance still reading, but getting done when I need to get done. So it is late Monday night now, but I did finish First Time Caller yesterday in the car ride home. I don't know exactly what to voice about this book, because the concept of it I liked. I just think the execution of it fell flat, and the character development, specifically the male main character. I don't know. I don't know what it was about him. I just didn't love him. I didn't hate him. I didn't like, there wasn't anything in particular that I could quite put my finger on, but I was just like, I'm not obsessed with him for some reason. I thought our female main character, I said that before, she's so cute. She's fun and quirky. I do have a complaint in terms of the cover, because she looks like she'd be a ginger, a redhead. And I think in the book it described her as brunette. I'm pretty sure I read that somewhere, because I read it and I was like, I thought she was a redhead. So that kind of threw me off a little bit. I don't know. The whole concept of the book was cute. It wasn't like a book where I was like, oh, I'm DNFing it. It was just one that I didn't fall in love with. I wasn't obsessed with it. I wasn't kicking my feet the whole time. So I'm going to round it out of 3 stars. It was just an average book. I enjoyed reading it. I'm glad I read it, and I'm in the know of everything. I have no more FOMO when it comes to this book, but I was a bit disappointed, I think, just because I had seen it a lot. I don't really know that everybody was raving about it necessarily. That's the other thing, is going into books blind. I had seen that people were talking about it a lot. I don't know whether it was good or bad things that they were talking about it a lot. So I am going to have to go and watch the podcast now, the Bookmarked podcast, because I haven't gotten a chance to do that because I've been working and doing stuff. So that's next on my list. That'll probably be a tomorrow thing, when I have a little bit more time to listen to and just kind of hear their thoughts and feelings towards the book, and see if I'm crazy. But yeah, I'm going to round it out at 3 stars on that. I don't know what the average rating was. I'll have to look that up on Goodreads at some point or another. But I did start a new book today. I have not started Fearless yet. I've decided I'm going to carry that into a different vlog instead, and just keep this one like light, fluffy romance and shorter reads. So we picked this up while we were at the store while we were wandering. And there's a local bookstore below us. So I picked this up because the cover's cute, and my husband bought it for me. And so I am reading it. It is You Between the Lines by Katie Naiman. I think this is a debut novel. Every time I look up her name, there's nothing else that pops up. So I assume it's a debut novel, but you know what they say about people who assume. I'm on page I'm a little further than that actually. I think I'm on page 72. So chapter almost 7. It's cute. I'm already again not in love with this one. I can tell the concept of it is different than what I'm used to. I thought the idea was really cute, and Jessica Joyce also has a quote on the back, which I was like, ooh, okay. And then it also says intoxicating, perfect for Emily Henry fans. Peyton Corinne commented that, which I don't think I've read any books by her. But I am a huge Emily Henry fan. I think as I get into it, I'm going to like it more. I do kind of like the mysteriousness of our main character, William is what he goes by now. But essentially, we are following 2 writers. Your female main character, I am blanking on her name right now. Give me 1 second. Lee. Lee is leaving your main female main character. Oh my goodness, English. Your female main character. Her name is Lee. She has left her corporate job. She was a writer in high school. She was very known for that. She's a poet, and she knows it, if you know what I mean. And there was one other kid in high school, William, and he was a year older, and he was, to her, a little bit judgmental, but very much into writing like she was. And so they didn't necessarily butt heads, but they always, I think kind of had that competitiveness going on with each other. And then they had one interaction with each other later down the line, haven't spoken since. And lo and behold, years later, they're like 26, 27, graduated. She has left her corporate job because she has not been utilizing writing like she wanted to, and was not happy in her corporate marketing job doing advertising. And so she has applied to this very prestigious program, has been selected as one of the few that are admitted, along with William, she finds out when she gets there. And so now they're in the same vicinity again. They're going to be in this program for the next 2 years together. And so it's kind of figuring out, okay, how are we going to be friends, be around each other? Are they going to be enemies, frenemies kind of deal is kind of what we're figuring out right now in the plot. But they have their first big writing assignment, and she's, of course, a poet. What she loves about writing is that she steps out of herself and she can become someone else, create this fantasy world for her, which I think is what we all love about books. But she has her first nonfiction writing that she has to do about herself. It's an origin story that she has to do, and she's kind of struggling with it and accepting some of the things going on in her life. So that part is very interesting. Things I'm not loving is I hate when authors bring too much political things that are going on in the world into their books, because for me, I have the same idea when it comes to reading. I love to be immersed in a book and not think about things going on in the world right now. I like it to be fun, to be happy, to make me feel something, even if it's sad and crying, whatever it may be. That's kind of what I prefer. I like to get lost in the fantasy land of it. And so when you're getting constant reminders of like political things that are going on in real life, I'm like, okay, I wanted to have fun and read this. I didn't want to have a constant reminder of political warfare. So that's the thing I'm not loving right now. I feel like it's a lot of like bits of that kind of dropped in there that I'm not obsessed with. But I do love the cover. I think the cover is super cute, and I love, again, the concept. I think so far is great. I think there's going to be a lot of substance to it. So I'm not knocking it until I read it, basically. But I don't know that it's going to be another super high rated one, which every streak has to come to an end. We just ended our 4 and 5 star streak with first time caller being 3 stars. So we shall see, but we are going to continue reading the third and final book of this reading vlog. I don't have much time left to read because I need to get to bed, but we're going to read just a little bit more before going to bed tonight. So let's do that. Okie doke, friends. I am back from work, and if you can't tell by my outfit, it is gorgeous outside, but we are going to pick a new book to read because I finally finished You Between the Lines by Katie Naiman. Mixed feelings about this book. Unfortunately, I think we're rounding out at another 3 stars with this one. Lots of pros and cons. I think I kind of mentioned beforehand, reading is a way to ignore the world and its problems and things going on in it. And I just felt like there were a lot of things that were kind of dumped into it where I was like, that was unnecessary. Could have done without that. It's just very much in the literature world, and it was cool. Now, there were things in here that I really loved. There are certain lines that were which both of the main characters are poets in here. So it makes sense. But she had several lines that were very poetic themselves. And I did love how the main character, she struggles a lot with anxiety. She says she gets the worst parts of both her parents, and her parents are going through a separation at the time, and she doesn't really know how to handle it. And her dad is the one who struggles with anxiety, and she struggles with it too. And so I do like how you see some of those parts kind of come to fruition, how she overthinks everything. And she's not a narcissist, but she's always constantly thinking about reasons why people don't like her. Like if they're not responding fast enough, oh, they hate me, they're mad at me, and I don't know what I did. That kind of thing. So I did think that was very interesting. But then I got a little bit annoyed because at the end she kind of just like self-destructed, which it does kind of say that. But I was like, girl, what are we doing? I don't know. She claps back a lot is what I have to say. Like she gets very sassy and defensive when people say something to her that she doesn't like or doesn't agree with, and she just like jumps down their throat, says things that she regrets immediately afterwards. And so that's where I'm like, girl, hold your tongue. Like where's your self-control there? Chill out. That's your best friend you're talking to. It's stuff like that kind of annoyed me with her. But there were aspects of it that I did love. I did enjoy it. I think the cover is gorgeous. I'm not mad about it. Just not obsessed with it. Would still recommend it to the right person for sure. But that is going to round out this video. Finally, it's a week later exactly. Or no, I started this on Tuesday because I started Tuesday night because I started a little bit late. It's Wednesday morning and I finished this last night. So, not bad if I have to say so myself. It was exactly a week. We just started it late. But 3 books read. We did Nora Goes Off Script, which was a 5 stars. We loved that. And then we did First Time Caller as well as You Between the Lines, which I do have those 2 physical books right here with me. So pretty good. Not bad. At least no 2 stars. That's a 1 in my book, I guess. And I'm not in a reading slump. 3 books in a week. I'll take it for sure. Still better than the previous months. But if you guys enjoyed this, if you have your own opinions, I would love to hear them. Like, comment, subscribe. If you have any book suggestions, let me know. I think I'm going to probably jump into another reading vlog later today. And that one's probably going to be a little bit different because I am dying to read Fearless. I have FOMO. I am avoiding everything like the plague. I don't want to see any spoilers. I don't want to know what's going on, anything. But one of my besties, Beck and Florence, our Miss Bride Queen, she is reading it and she texted me and I'm like, don't spoil it. I don't want to hear any spoilers. Don't talk about it with me yet. I'm going to start it and I'll catch up and then we can talk about it. So I need to get the ball rolling on that one because the book is surprisingly thick. Thicker than the last one. Thicker than a Snicker, if I do say so myself. Oh, here we go. I have it sitting right here for you. And I will say one thing that really bothers me with this book, and I'll probably repeat it in the next video too. I hate the colored writing on it. Because in the previous ones, it was more like the background, like the flowers, were the things that were the color changes on the special editions. Like I think Reckless was the one I got the turquoise version of it for the special edition. But this one, rather than doing that, they made the writing itself the Fearless red. And the red just doesn't go. I don't know. It just really bothers me. I don't love the red on it, but it's fine. We'll do with it. It is thick though, much thicker than the other one. So I'm really excited to get into that. Tune into that one probably end of next week for when I finish that book, and we'll see if we throw anything else in there. But in the meantime, like, comment, subscribe. I'm having so much fun doing these fun videos for you guys. If you have any book suggestions, let me know. I have my social media linked on the next little clip for you guys. But until next time, I will see ya when I see ya. So bye, besties.